All the choices you made, did you make them up?
All the choices you made, did you make them up?
Did you make them up? All the choices you made, did you make them up? Again.
You just walk right out the door. Don't wanna do this anymore. Now I'm lost without you. You drive me crazy out my mind. How'd you do this every time? Now I'm lost without you. Used to be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep, now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done I'll be gone. You're so distant when you're home, always hanging by your phone. Do I even know you? And I get paranoid sometimes, 'cause I know that you ain't mine, and I'm lost without you. Used to be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep, now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done I'll be gone.
When you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder.
Hey, I'm Danielle. I'm a cosplayer, streamer, AV tech, and a massive Destiny fan. I'm going to check out how Destiny 2 runs on the Nitro 5. Look at this. Look, bring the camera in. Look at this. This is running Destiny at highest. It's still hitting 60 frames per second. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I don't believe it. I cannot fathom that this thing has that much grunt in such a tiny form factor. And there's so much going on the screen at the same time, like particle effects and stuff. And I can barely hear the fans too. If I had headphones on while I was gaming, you wouldn't even hear it. I like this thing. Can I take this? Will you guys mind if I take this? Like actually, hold on. Is this plugged in? This wait, smooth, get away. It's fine.
Welcome back to the 2022 Australian Esports University League Season 1 for Rainbow Six Siege. I'm Spudoom, with me is Spudoom, and we are here to bring you an exciting matchup. It is the lower bracket finals.
Yes, so tonight we do have the lower bracket final. It's between Melbourne and RMIT Black. I can never remember the name of Melbourne. But we do have an exciting match coming up. These are two very top tier teams. The fact they've made it this far is incredible as is. And waiting for them in the absolute final will be Swinburne. So we're excited to see tonight who makes it through and who has to take that third place.
Yeah, of course, RMIT Black had a pretty good run. They made it all the way to the upper bracket final, but they fell to Swinister. I believe it was 2-1, which means, of course, they're placed here now in the lower bracket. UniMelb Arctics hasn't had such a nice run themselves. They've had to fight, for a long time through this lower bracket, but they finally made it all the way to the end here. It's just a matter of who makes it out of this lower bracket. Whether UniMelb will finally get a chance to really shine in the grand finals, or are we going to see RMIT Black pick up the mantle of, the grand finalist again and finally end up back in the grand finals to face Swinister once more? Well, I guess we'll have to find out depending on how we go tonight. But before we start, we would like to thank our sponsors. The AEL is sponsored by Predator, the gaming PC partner, AOC Monitors, the monitor partner, and RIG, the headset partner. Okay, now, what about maps? What are we playing on tonight?
Maps. All right. So first up, we do have Chalet. I believe that is UniMelb's pick. Not as certain though. So we are starting with, yes, Chalet with UniMelb on defense and RMIT on attack. Following that, we'll have a nice map of Cafe with UniMelb on attack and RMIT defense. So that's a nice switcheroo to start the next map. And if we get there, we'll see how exciting our matchup is tonight. We'll end up with Clubhouse as a third deciding match for the night. So I'm looking forward to this Chalet. I mean, I've seen some very good plays from UniMelb here. What are you expecting here, Spud?
Yeah, we've kind of said that we think this is UniMelb's map pick just based on how well they've usually played it, and the fact that the attacking side is going first to RMIT Black. And we do know Chalet usually favors the more aggressive side, especially on attack. So that's our theory at least. It could be that UniMelb have chosen to go on defense purely because they feel very confident in their setups. There's a lot of interesting plays you can do as well, a lot of shield work as well. So I definitely expect UniMelb Arctics to do very well. Of course, they are facing RMIT Black, and this is a team we've seen for so long. They've been playing for a long time. Every season, though, they seem to just fall a little bit short. They always come in second behind Monash, of course. But with Monash out of the grand finals this time, maybe this will be the time for RMIT Black to make it.
Definitely. I mean, RMIT Black, we've seen them in the grand finals multiple times. And in the past, they have shown their ability to make it through and take that win. But like you said, we've got Monash, Onyx now really and truly out of the way, going out in the top 6. And that leaves RMIT Black, a long time standing team to, see what they can do tonight, see if they can push their way back into that grand final after losing to Sinister. And, but they've got a big obstacle to overcome here of UniMelb. So we will get started right away, straight into Chalet. What kind of bands are you expecting to see here?
Look, honestly, I expect a Finker ban. I 100% expect it, given how prominent it's been. We've seen the pick rate, we've seen the win delta. We know how much utility Finker can ban and the damage you can do, especially on Chalet. Having said that, of course, that's going to be a standard ban. I can't fault them for it, but I would like to see Finker taken away.
A Finker ban is always fun, and it does remove a lot of that attack utility, and there it is. You've taken away a Gone 6, that's a pair of nades, and of course, the only healer right now on attack. That is a big ban. But, we've seen it long before this Finker change. People can play around it, and they don't need that extra health all the time, but it is an important ban. The Valk going out here as well from RMIT Black looks like they're going to be a bit lazier when it comes to their intel collection, or more denial, I should say. But that is an important ban, especially on Chalet with some of those Valk cam angles you can set up. It is a pretty big one.
Kaid, the last to go, UniMelb pairing that with the Thatcher ban. I guess it does make a lot of sense. Once you remove the ability to easily remove some of that wall denial, you're going to want to make your life a bit easier getting rid of that Kaid. And that means you do get more options when it comes to opening hatches if they do choose to go to that basement site. Not a usually a very popular site, but it does give you a bit more to work with. And yeah, Valkyrie ban, as you mentioned, so many powerful camp spots are available on Chalet, especially near that fireplace area, that big open area. You can see a lot of where the attackers are pushing from. So yeah, RMIT Black, it's a really good ban on their part.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the garage plays are just not going to be very big when it comes around that Cade ban, but that can help a lot with top floor. But we are starting in Bar. Now, Bar is very popular with higher level play. And I don't know if you guys play in your ranked games, a lot of Chalet, but it's not very popular in the mid tiers. But up here, they know what they're doing. They've got really good vertical play from Library, especially if they can hold it well. And I would imagine they've got mezzanine holds. If we can go up to the mezzanine, just check if there's a shield set up. Yes, so we've got the top Library stairs, Jaeger devices. We've got the Mute Jammer and Trophy Hallway. And the shield and mezzanine going down there from the smoke as well. Absolutely very standard play here for a bar hold. A lot to look forward to. I love seeing these frost picks always. Let's see how many maps we can.
Yeah, and we definitely see just how powerful this can be when you have a coordinated stack. The question, of course, is how RMIT Black are going to respond to that. Will they force hard push Library? Will they go from the northern side? Will they maybe take the garage and work vertically, as we've seen some teams like to do? But for the most part, they will be playing on this hard Library attempt. Jin on the rappel, looking to get some early picks here. Kraken, Pluto as well. In fact, 4 players, all stacked up on this, looking to just brute force their way in.
He's being very aggressive here on this Library corner. That is a bit too aggressive. Oh, Pluto's gonna get hit by the frost rat so early, right after the first pick, and NATO's gonna pick that off. That's a good first pick. well, from RMIT Black, and a really fast trade from UniMelb with that cross map play.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those. Those are almost always placed there, and it allows you to hold across, well, pretty much by yourself. The loss of Drew will be a bit of a pain there. You do want a bit of presence over in the library, but it's not the end of the day. Noobmaster Carl still on this mezzanine balcony, and you still have that shield player to hold on to things. Raindrops, however, will take down Spender. I'm not sure how to spell it. D2 and Raindrops follow up with another quick, and it's Punyan all by himself already. What is going on?
I think they just took every other part of the map really quickly. He's going to try and take map control back, but Hydra's just going to take him out from default plant. That was very sudden. I think we were kind of confused there. Woo! It's too much happening at once. Kind of missed all the action, but RMIT Black's going to take that first round. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a tech pause here, so we'll have a short pause. We'll see if we come back to our lovely faces. Probably not. That's all right. Looks like we've got a crash from RMIT. Hopefully they can load back in soon. Oh yes, wonderful. Back to our lovely faces. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see how long this takes. Hopefully it shouldn't be too long. But for now, Spud, what do you think of that round? That was a bit fast, wasn't it? Pretty early
I think
finish.
It's classic RMIT Black strategy. If you've watched them over the years, you know that their strategy pretty much consists of walk in and kill everyone. And I think this is a perfect example of that. I mean, UniMelb Arctics committed a lot of utility and presence to that top floor. They had 2 shields there, they had all the positioning, but RMIT Black just ran over them. And honestly, I really did not expect for that to work so well, especially that library player usually gets to hang on to their life for a long, long time. But of course, I think that's a testament to how well RMIT Black are at pushing these weaknesses and taking those gunfights where they don't, they can win them.
Yeah, definitely. And, they had all that utility play. It was well set up, as we were talking about the 2 shields, like you said. But in the end, Siege is still a shooter. And if you lose your ones, that's it. That's the round. And that's all it takes for a team to take a round from the other. So, we'll get a bit of words soon, hopefully, to see if we're... Okay, so we're just got a bit of a wait. It shouldn't be too long, thankfully. We just got the player rebooting. Hopefully get back into the lobby soon enough. And yeah, I mean, like you said, RMIT Black, well and truly known for their ability to collapse onto those sites and just take those ones, win those gunfights. But UniMelb isn't supposed to be such a pushover team, but they definitely looked like one in that round. Do you think they'll bring it back soon, or?
I mean, for sure, they definitely get at least this tech pulse to kind of work through things and break RMIT's momentum. As little as it is, that little bit of start can be really advantageous. So they certainly get some time to think about what went wrong, kind of reconsider their options. And yeah, I think beneficial definitely for RMIT Black to get their player back. But for UniMelb, starting off the wrong foot on your own map isn't a good look. So this will at least get them a chance to reset things.
Definitely. And looks like they've already gone for a site swap here. So looks like they've decided that just didn't work and they're going to give something else an entirely different try. But, Kitchen, again, a lot of verticality here that can come out from the defending team. We've got a Castle pick. Now, that's interesting. Castle is such a specific operator when it comes to site holds. You've got to have a very planned out way to hold him and use his utility properly, because a bad castle can actually completely destroy a defense, whereas a good castle can completely make it. So I guess we'll see how those affect the play, but RMIT is just going to go for another standard library take. Nothing too complex, nothing too fancy coming here from them. Chalet is a pretty standard map when it comes to attacks, after all.
Yeah, do expect them to take that top floor first of all to, as you mentioned, flush out that vertical control that can be really prominent here. And I do like that they've chosen to go through from this library side instead of contesting the solar windows, the bedroom windows directly. They need to get a bit of a foothold in the map, at the start before pushing up. Noobmaster Carl actually just misses that thermite Jin, and that could have been a big play as well, but nope, it will be Jin actually finding him in the end. The hard breach, I guess, it's not as crucial, though you do want to open up that kitchen wall. Nevertheless, they will get away with it. And now with that fireplace control, they can start working this wall.
Yeah, so they're going to get this dining wall open. Looks like they're going to try to ignore as much of this verticality as they can. And hunting that roamer down is a big deal, especially with the downstairs position that can take so much control and really force them back. But looks like here they're just gonna, it's gonna be a bit stationary. I think it's still muted. Yeah, the wall's still muted. So that thermite's not gonna be able to go off, and their ignorance to this vertical play is gonna start hurting them as the time ticks away. And Drew gets an upstairs pick. What is that? Onto the Jackal. Oh. And they're going to try and start taking this top floor now with only a minute left to go, and the wall's still closed. It's not going to do much at this point. So we've got to see, can they take this control properly? If Jin has to place another one, looks like they lost their last one already. Whew.
This is not looking good. They're afraid of the top floor presence, and as we mentioned at the start, we really thought that they would choose to clear that out, but looks like they haven't, and although they got the first pick, it just has not been enough to finish things off. Raindrops now trying to get some info because this will have to be a direct horizontal push. There isn't really much they can do. Sprando will find the better of him on the floor. 3 versus 4 now. At least the player advantage is in UniMelb's favor, and with the attackers forced to collapse on the site with no real path of entry, this is not looking good.
20 seconds left. There's no wall open. Hydra and Pluto, they're just gonna walk in straight into these blind sites being held by UniMelb. There's not much they can do here. They're just walking straight in. Hydra's just doing his best. Oh, what a pick onto the NATO! Huang will trade it back, and Aiden or Punyon will close it back down. UniMelb will take round 2, but my goodness, that was a good try from Hydra.
Yeah, Hydra, of course, veteran of Uni League. He's been here like pretty much every season that I can think of. We've seen him play, and he's always been in the grand finals, so expect nothing less. The ace, of course, he's playing the hard breach, he's playing the killing, he's doing everything. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And we mentioned that the wall wasn't open, and that can be traced back down to the lack of top floor control. They needed just to get rid of that mute jammer. Had they gone at least that office area and gone the mute jammer, things could have gone very, very differently.
Definitely. I mean, just the absolute lack of top floor control really started to hurt them there. And it wasn't even the vertical play, it was just that they couldn't clear any utility. The mute jammer on that wall completely locking down that round pretty much by itself. I mean, I've never seen one mute jammer hold so much control in one go, but it's something new every day, huh?
Yeah, who would win? Consecutive runner-ups versus one jammy boy on Wi-Fi router.
It's all
probably shouldn't make too much fun of them. I think they've definitely still got a lot in the bag to show us. So it is, after all, 1-1. Still plenty of time, but you know, you can't be making mistakes like that. Simple mistakes like that if you want to get to the grand finals.
Definitely. I mean, utility clear is such an important part of the game, and especially in its current meta. And you know, mute jammers with the change quite a while ago now to be a full circle around it. I can imagine they're going to try and use this vertical play. I imagine they had a mute jammer upstairs as well, actually, to get that top half of the wall, because with standard mute jammers, only one can only cover the half. Sorry, too long on that topic. Looks like RMIT Black's going to be taking library control very quickly here, only 30 seconds into the round. And, oh, there's a gunfight from Huang. Jin's going to try and nade him out, but completely whiffs the nade. Nado's going to pick him off from... Is that Piano? Oh my goodness. What a pick. Huang's going to stay alive on those library stairs and continue holding that control. And yes, RMIT Black just took all of library control very quickly, but UniMelb's got a lot of control here still. Hunyun's still in dining, and Raindrops is going to take that trade back on Huang, but there's still a lot of presence here from the attack, or from the defense, sorry. That
You
nade!
will catch a nade. Oh, look at that, right in the noggin. He had no idea what hit him. Jaeger will, in fact, have to worry about grenades now that he's dead. So at least a bit of manpower taken off the board here, and this is starting to work out much better now. They finally got mezzanine wall open. I was worried earlier on because they didn't really seem to be able to do much apart from take library, but hey, with the wall open, they can start applying this pressure. And without that player downstairs throwing up C4s, it's going to be a lot easier.
This knock play really coming in. You can see the white on the camera showing that knock's ability is working and working well. Pluto's going to try and prone to keep out of the view of the camera while his ability's down, but his ability's going to round out. He's going to take the pick on Carl anyway. And Drew's gonna trade it back before Carl gets finished. NATO's gonna try and pick him up, but Drew's in a 1v2 here. D2's gone down, Hydra's traded back. NATO's not rezzed Carl yet, but looks like he's gonna be able to get it off now. D2's still down, and it's gonna be a glorified 2v3. Hydra gonna try and pick up D2 here on the main wall. Carl, NATO's just gonna aggress on this piano window. Raindrop's not expecting it. Big pick. Hydra's going to trade it back. It's going to be a 1v2. Hydra needs to get this diffuser down. There's only 20 seconds remaining, but NATO's going to pick off D2. Just a 1v1. They're going to hold up the round. Hydra's going to try and get the diffuser down, but NATO's going to push up slowly. I'm going to see if he can play the timeout here. Hydra's going to go for a fake. He's only got 6 rounds in the mag left. NATO's using this sound, his loud footsteps, to try and force him off the plant. Plant's going to go down. Hydra's going to hit the headshot, and that's the round. RMIT Black take it. My goodness, what a clutch!
When in doubt,
Shreked.
just kill everyone. Hydra was like, no worries, I got this. Single-handedly, in a situation he really should not have won. Managed to clutch that out. That is impressive, Axe Hydra. That is impressive. And UniMelb is certainly going to be kicking themselves after dropping around like that. All in their control, yet just missed out.
So barely. And I mean, you say all in their control, but that really was a lot closer than it looked. Drew, like, pretty much had to do a temporary 1v4 after Carl went down. That was not a fun time for him, but really good play there from the knock to try and take those back stairs. But Hydra is just a better fragger, getting all 3 of those picks in that late round. All very clean headshots from that breach. That man can do everything. He can hard breach, and apparently he can clutch. That's what you want in a player, huh?
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Plant and a kill to finish off the round. That is, I believe, the first time we have actually seen the diffuser go anywhere near down. Every other time has been a quick affair, well, relatively quick. But yeah, RMIT Black certainly have at least warmed up to the fact that their opponents might not be the pushovers they thought. And now are going to have to fight a lot harder and make sure they don't give any freebies away like that second round. But we will be going back to that bar gaming site. The first site, of course, UniMelb starting off with some good setups, and they have a lot of control. But of course, RMIT Black able to quickly collapse on them to win that round.
So, looks like, is RMIT Black going for the same standard library push? Yes, they are. They've got the same, looks like they've got the same setup here, UniMelb, with the shields, ADSs, everything for mezzanine, top library, everything like that. I guess their hope this time is to have less early deaths and more early kills. Especially with, looks like Drew is not in his standard corner like he was last round, or last time they held this, so he's going to stay alive a little bit longer. Yep, he's in bar, nice and safe. But, yeah, I mean, RMIT Black's going to try and get this pressure onto mezzanine from every angle they can. That's going to be a completely missed nade, because everything's going to stay up. Except Carl! Carl goes down from the second nade. Good landing there. Doesn't look like anyone can really pick him up, so he's just going to hold on, hold F, stay alive as long as he can to pretend that he's still up there, because he definitely isn't. Raindrops is going to see this now on his drone, though, and on his fake, and oh, what?
Put him on the way down, on the way in. I think he might have shot through the floor.
Okay, I think so.
Right.
I can't tell. Pinion's gonna get one, but Raindrops is gonna trade it back on a 3K now for the round. Yeah, that was wild. 2v4, RMIT Black is gonna have all the control. What just happened?
Blue stairs. So we have been informed that it was on blue stairs. That's where Punyan got his first pick, and then of course he got the second on the downplay, and then they just kind of all walk into sight once again. And I think this is a story that we've seen repeated a number of times now on this site. RMIT Black just brute force their way in, and they just walk all over UniMelb. It's not the same UniMelb we've seen in the previous rounds where it was much closer. Whereas RMIT Black, certainly they were in control from the start to the finish of
Attackers
that
need to
round there.
locate and defuse bombs.
Definitely. I mean, every time they've attacked bar, looks like UniMelb's just not had any of that control that they've been wanting with all their setup. Just RMIT Black takes all of it straight away from them. Doesn't even give them a chance to use it. But they're going to go back to kitchen here. A bit more experience. They actually won this round. I guess we'll see if RMIT Black knows how to play around the mute jammer this time, or if UniMelb can just have one mute jammer win the round for them again.
Surely they don't make the same basic mistake again.
Surely.
Right? I can excuse it the first time, right? Like, you just didn't have that as part of your plan, even though you should be adapting. But a second time and falling for the same thing twice in a row, then really that one's on you. I have, pretty high expectations of RMIT Black. I do expect that they'll at least try it this time. But hey, UniMelb might pull something out of the bag here and have an even bigger brain strategy for us.
Definitely, they could. RMIT Black gonna just jump straight in again. They're really efficient on these attacks, huh? Trying to use the clone from Raindrops there on the Yana to take as much control as possible without really wasting any drones or anything. And you can already see, if you check that top right, they've got 6 out of 8 drones now. They've lost 2. Already up and ready at 2 minutes 15, which shows the amount of intel work they really play with. Drew gonna lose that opening fight to Jin. That's just very aggressive. And there was Huang. It looks like we were talking about it just a moment ago. RMIT Black's gonna take this upstairs control this time compared to last round.
Yeah, and with that, they've taken 2 plays as well, and they haven't even taken damage. So I'd say that's a pretty good trade there. Jin finally will be lit up by Punyan, who is forced to fall back, though. Lots of players up here pressuring him. He is going to try and peek through this wall, maybe get a few cheeky angles, but meanwhile, Sprando also taking damage, I assume, from the vertical here. And now with that kitchen wall opened up, things are really not looking good for UniMelb here.
Looks like they actually figured out how to get rid of the mute jammer this time. Yeah, so with the main wall open up and this upstairs control really collapsing for UniMelb, and NATO taking a nade straight to the face. Oh boy, RMIT Black's opened up this round 5v2. This is not looking good for UniMelb. Punyan's gonna try and do something, but from upstairs he's gonna get jackal tracked. Carl's not be able to do much either in this position. There's very little they can do. Carl will take 1, Raindrops takes the second, Jin drops them. RMIT Black knows how to attack this. Either that or I don't know.
Look, I don't think that UniMelb's defense was necessarily terrible. They had some pretty good setups. They had the castle to cover some of these long rotates. They were playing upstairs and everything. It's just that RMIT Black are really, really good. There's no doubt about it. And they kind of just walked in and murdered everyone. I will question the upstairs office wall not being reinforced. I would assume that if you're playing upstairs, as we saw Huang as well, trying to get that vertical on the kitchen door, that you'd reinforce it at least so get a bit more warning and burn a bit more time. But we didn't see that from UniMelb. So interesting choice there. I think ultimately it could have cost them, giving easy access to that top floor office area. So if they do choose to repeat it, which I don't think they will here, that's something they could improve on, I suppose, for the future if they make it to
if they could run it again.
Grand finals.
We're just gonna have a tactical pause here in the meantime, just so everyone aware of what the random pause is about. But I do believe UniMelb actually had spare reinforcements as well, which is the thing that concerns me more, because you make a really good point there, in that having that upstairs wall reinforced from office would have been a major component in just keeping them alive a bit longer, holding that upstairs just a bit nicer. And I don't know if they had that reinforced last time, but they definitely didn't this time, and it was a very, very important part of RMIT Black winning that round.
Well, UniMelb are now 1 round up. RMIT Black, however, have 4 to go in their pocket. So even if UniMelb manage to win this, it's still a 2-4. Not the best, but at least they have the consolation that they do go on to attack. And as we assume, this is probably their map pick. So, you know, they will have something there. And we know UniMelb are generally pretty good at attacking as well. Of course, we'll get to compare directly with RMIT Black's attack because, well, they've shown us they really know what they're doing.
Pluto's on the... what's the name again? Amaru. That's the word. What is his plan here? He can't go in through the main window because that is castled. So that is...
unlucky.
I think that's his entire strat just gone. So there you go. It only takes 1 operator. Just going to take some early damage here. Not sure what that's about. And there goes...
That's part 2 of his plan gone.
I think he's just... his entire plan just fell apart in one go. Looks like Raindrops is going to take this early pick, and Fong's going to try and fight back and takes D2 and Raindrops, but he's going to get dropped by Jin. But Jin gets dropped back. This is the fastest trade. It's only been 45 seconds, Spud. What am I doing here? What is going on?
Bit of a speed run moment, and I mean, that was Pluto's plan the entire time, but unfortunately, he's still on full health. He's nowhere near sight, and, you know, Jin is almost dead as well. Oh my goodness.
Absolute chaos. Looks like the mute jam is going to hurt him again. It's not the first time, and it clearly won't be the last. Jin's going to try and... Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what? Xaden goes down! Pluto's going to take that frag straight in to sight. And Hydra's going to try and hold the angle, but... Nader's in the most wacky position. He'll take down 1, he'll drop the Hydra. Carl only needs 1 bullet per person here. But it doesn't matter, Hydra only needs 1 bullet straight into his head. And that'll be the round. RMIT Black will take the attacking half 5-1.
What am I watching? Okay, so to begin with, right, they ran into library and then instantly had 2 players dropped by UniMelb. After that, they kind of dawdled around thinking, what do? We can't open this wall. At that point, Pluto told Jin, hey, just open this door. And he manages just to walk in. I'm more mad by the fact that it actually worked as opposed to the fact that he tried it. Then Mando over there manages to just pick him off, even though I assume that Amaru was aware of his positioning. He was watching that beforehand, the half wall. And I just... Honestly, I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed that they got away with that.
I think that's the only description. I mean, that was just chaos. I mean, it was down to a 2v or 3v3 after 45 seconds, which is an insane amount of early round frags. And then the absolute balls of Pluto to sprint straight into sight through a castle barricade. No questions asked, no drone. I don't understand what's going on. UniMelb clearly didn't understand what's going on. And RMIT Black's taken the half 5-1. So we'll see how they go with the switcheroo. Maybe UniMelb needs this sort of coordination around attack to collapse back onto RMIT Black, but it's really looking like their map at this point.
Yeah, it is, of course, a little bit more attacker-sided, as we have mentioned a couple of times. So there's that as a consolation prize, but UniMelb will really have to pull something special out of the bag here. And I do note a distinct lack of the Sophia LMG here. Sprando has one, but that's not the LMG, so... Oh, he almost got away with that. Raindrop Tower first to find a kill onto Newmaster. Oh no! That's not going to save you, buddy.
Can someone clip that, please? That's amazing. Oh no. Ponion's just not going to have any luck on this round, getting picked off so early along with Carl. And this library attack's not going to do anything at this point because it's down to a 3v5. You've lost a pair of nades. You've lost your big shield player on the main window. you have a hard breach and maybe some drones, but there's just so little UniMelb can do here. They already collapsed so early into the round. I mean, it's only been a minute, and most of their attack is gone. Like, those are major components for a top floor attack.
I mean, if we compare the time that was used by RMIT Black to get into this library area versus the time that UniMelb have burnt so far, a minute and a half, and they've lost 2 players for it, it's just really not quite the same. And especially now that, you know, they have that play. Well, okay, I said they were going to have a play advantage, but Jin decided to hold onto the library for a little bit too long, got caught reading there. And yeah, it's a 3v3, but with less than half of the round to go, there's still a lot of progress that needs to be made by UniMelb.
Definitely. And I mean, getting that second pick is a big deal. Huang's going to try and shoot these bandits off, and that's not a terrible idea, but it's not going to work, unfortunately. Drew's got these drones perfectly. Oh, never mind, it did work. He's got the left wall, and Huang's going to get that open now. But in the 3v3 now, Pluto's going to take out NATO, and that's just the early pick gone. I don't know what UniMelb can do here. DT's going to try and get aggressive, but it's not much left of this round. Only 35 seconds to go, and UniMelb's sort of picking for scraps here at this point after getting 2 early scraps, and it's just not going to work. RMIT Black takes it, and they're going to be on match point nice and fast.
Yeah, perfect crossfire there and support from Pluto as well. We see one player playing close, one near the bathroom behind that bookshelf, and they just need to play for that contact, wait to hear that sound cue, and as soon as they both swing, it's game over. So really well played on the positioning there. UniMelb able to get library and mezzanine control, but at a huge cost. They, of course, as we mentioned, lost 2 players early on. And then even with that wall open, they weren't really able to put the pressure, especially on that piano player. It is a key position you need to flush out, and they weren't able to do that. Ultimately, it means they will be left gasping for air here as they are 1-6 down. RMIT Black on match point with 5 rounds, to work with.
Yeah, I mean, 5 is almost an entire match right there. And we were talking about how we were hoping when we see UniMelb switch to this attacking half, we would see more coordination, sort of meeting those expectations that we put on them for a map like Chalet. And RMIT Black sort of tore those down really early into the round, and they might be getting to their mentals. I mean, UniMelb's already used their tactical timeout, so they can't pause here. They can't stop and slow down and reset. They've done that. They've lost their chance at that already, and RMIT Black's going to be able to work off this momentum. I mean, you've got Hydra going 9-1, Raindrops 10-5. These are star players right now, and it's just not working for UniMelb. That attack didn't instill a lot of confidence, at least not in me, and I don't see them doing much else in this new attack round. But, you know, bar gaming, it's a different song. Okay.
No.
Thank you,
Not
Jin.
like this, Drew.
Talk about early round mental break. Oh. Poor Drew.
Drew has really been an instrumental player. I mean, he was, of course, playing that Flores, clearing out a lot of utility, and we've seen him frag out a lot of the time. So losing him like that so early on to a spawn pick like that, that's gotta hurt, right? And it's just adding insult to injury here as UniMelb once again struggling to get map control. They've chosen to go for this library hard push, but they just don't have the same, you know, explosive entry that RMIT Black have been able to muster out.
Yeah, and Jin's gonna get another pick. You know, I just mentioned Hydra and Raindrops, and Jin, I think, just got a bit upset with me not mentioning his name on that list as well, so he's decided to pick it up and get 2 opening frags now. And yeah, like you said, this attack is just taking too long, it looks like, and he's gonna get a 3rd Hydra, gonna get himself to double digits. Jin looks like he wants to try and get himself to double digits as well, but it's a 1v5, now 1v4, and there's just... NATO's already calling it. Now that's mean. You gotta give your teammate a chance, even if you can't, but that's gonna be the map. I mean, RMIT Black showing a near instrumental, near surgical even, defense there, and some incredible attacks coming through, but just... I don't know what's up with UniMelb, man. Let's hope they can reset, because I want a good want a good match, not a quick one.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I mean, our observer was telling us, hey, don't worry too much about 1-5 scoreline. It is a Chalet attack, but apparently there was much to worry about. For UniMelb, they weren't even close on those last 2 rounds. RMIT Black just had a really, really strong defense, and I think both their attack and defense was characterized very much by aggression, and it wasn't mindless aggression either. It wasn't doing dumb things or running in just for the sake of doing so. It was very well coordinated. It was very well placed. They knew exactly where to push, where to, as you mentioned, surgically slice through that defense. And now, of course, it does take them to 1-7. They have won the first map, and now they get to go to Cafe, which we've assumed is their map pick as well. I definitely am worrying a little bit for UniMelb here.
Definitely. It's not the most confidence-inducing opening map, and UniMelb does have a good history on Cafe as well, but so does RMIT Black. And there's a lot to see here coming up. I mean, yeah, not a good start from UniMelb, but they've got a lot to do. So we'll be right back. Don't forget to stay around, and we'll see you soon.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us.
Hey, I'm Danielle. I'm a cosplayer, streamer, AV tech, and a massive Destiny fan. I'm gonna check out how Destiny 2 runs on the Nitro 5. Look at this, look, bring the camera in, look at this. This is running Destiny at highest. It's still hitting 60 frames per second. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I don't believe it. I cannot fathom that this thing has that much grunt in such a tiny form factor. And there's so much going on the screen at the same time, like particle effects and stuff. And I can barely hear the fans too. If I had headphones on while I was gaming, you wouldn't even hear it. I like this thing. Can I take this? Will you guys mind if I take this? Like actually, hold on. Is this plugged in? This way, smooth, get away. It's fine.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the short break. A big thank you to ProtoANZ. Obviously, I was indisposed for map number 1, but I'm sure it was an absolute banger. We're here now, though, me and Spud, back for game number 2. Spud, it's been an absolute hoot, I'm sure, so far, and we're ready to get into the second map.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't miss too much of, maps, because it was after a quick 7-1 from RMIT Black, UniMelb Arctics, although we assumed it was their map. It actually felt surprisingly fast. So, yeah, I'm a little bit sad that we didn't get to see them play more of Chalet. I do know that it is one of their better maps, but hey, at least we do get to see them at least for another time. Okay, so we will be going to Cafe. If they fail here, then I guess that will be goodbye to UniMelb. But also, RMIT Black now fighting for their grand final spot. They did lose in the upper bracket final to Swinister, for those of you who watched that. So that means now, once they beat UniMelb, they get a chance to go back and go for a rematch. And this is, I don't know how many times they've made it to the grand finals and come second every time. So finally, now that Monash is out of the picture, RMIT Black might have a chance here.
Yeah, I mean, based on what the score was for map number 1, being a 7-1, it's looking pretty good for RMIT Black. Obviously, they're a team that have shown us multiple times that they can sort of keep that level of play up. So it's no real surprise that we've seen them walk away with that score in the first. But going into the second, Cafe, obviously, they're going to be starting on the defense. So the favoured side of the two coming into this. However, this is the UniMelb pick. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a 50-50, I think. Well, off the bat, we hope. It's a UniMelb pick, so that's going to give them, we'd imagine, the upper hand. But given that it is RMIT Black, players like Jin, players like Pluto, they've got a lot of things at their disposal in terms of the fragging department as well. So
one thing that we do see being brought back is the Finker. We did see it removed last time, so I'm pretty happy about that. But it does mean Flores will be banned, I assume it's being taken away from Drew, so hey, no surprises there. But Kai does survive the ban phase, and finally Mirror, of course, can be a little tricky, so no
Attackers need
surprises
to
there.
locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
yeah, look, it's Flores is an operator that has seen extensive use on Cafe, and it is no real surprise that we've seen him banned. However, even with his absence on this map, we are going to see the pick of Mute from Max Hydra, so I'd assume that we might see some extension towards Cigar Shop, possibly even deep in the lounge, depending on how they want to play this extension on the top floor. We already see some movement towards the freezer side, towards the bathroom side. We do have a deployable shield at Pixel as well, and a Jaeger in place. So a lot of utility to keep that position up for as long as RMIT can, but going forward, it is going to come down to how they are holding this in terms of their roam game as well, because Cafe is a map that allows for a lot of roam ability. That is why we see Jin on an operator like Oryx. Not only is he really good on it, it obviously gives him that sort of maneuverability throughout the map.
He's actually going to hang around and stick for seconds. Wasn't quite able to find anyone, but he didn't take any damage either. So at least he's still got a full tank to work with. Going to fall back now. He's actually just going to remain there. And finally, we'll fall back now. Had enough fun, but we'll at least wait for this hatch drop as well. And maybe someone unlucky enough to open it. I assume it will be the sledge. Might fall though.
So unfortunately not going to be graced with that opening kill. Will spot the Finker, but can't quite hit the head. Jin, unfortunate there for him on that one. Couldn't quite spot that player out. It's going to be playing under the new balcony now, though. He's going to drop on down into pillars and get away for the later parts of the round. Red will be opened up very quickly as well here. So UniMelb making good time at opening up this top floor and starting to make their way into the top side of Red with the Sky Lounge, but they need to be doing this because provided they take their time too long, RMIT Black, all they have to do is wait. We see that already. Noob taking a lot of damage on the entry here. He has actually almost been killed on Red Stairs. I'd imagine that was probably Jin doing. So a lot of chip damage as well actually coming out. So UniMelb not looking too good faring. They do have the Finker on the board, but it's not going to be able to get them back up to full.
Yeah, not much map control, and especially considering that that's half the round, it is a little bit concerning. You do need to get Piano, and then so you can start working Freezer and all that. But for the most part, Noobmaster seems to be the only one actually in the building. Everyone else content to hang out on the roof. Drop does now come through, but the proximity alarm gives positioning away. He will actually try to make his way into Piano. Jin looking for the perfect moment now. As it gets shot, so will Huang. Takes a bullet to the head, and Jin escapes with his life.
I'm surprised that Jin actually managed to not be traded out instantly there. However, the trade does come out from Noob, so at least there's the 1-for-1, but a quick 2 kills from Raindrops from Newbalk Swing. He's going to be able to pick up 2 for himself as well. I actually believe a collateral even there to the player on Red, which is unfortunate for UniMelb, but RMIT, they're going to be happy. The flank from White is going to be fruitful, though. It is going to be the gridlock to find one. Noobmaster with the second in the round to take Raindrops down as well, and now Pluto and Axe Hydra, the only 2 players left on this bomb site to defend in the dying 30 seconds. Pluto on low HP, though. He's the only player close to the top of white to hold down his position. The pre-fire is so close to finding the gridlock, but it is going to be Noob to find Axe Hydra now. Pluto on low HP, the only player remaining for RMIT Black. The bolt through, he's going to get stuck on the wall. He actually will make it into contact, surprisingly, without being taken down. The LMG's going off, the bomb now being planted. He could have killed that player through the wall, but he didn't connect the shot. He's going to have to walk through and connect with the plant. What? What? Why? Jin, exactly what we are thinking in the booth here. What was the idea there?
Huh? Okay,
What?
that round, I'm not sure what I meant to say about that. Because very start, it was a bit of a mess. I mean, we saw UniMelb take a really long time to get any significant map control on half of the round, and then they only started dropping Red Hatch in, starting to push the piano. But then...
And lost 3 picks.
Yeah. The players just started falling, and then suddenly it was a 2v2 with 2 LMGs, by the way, against old mate, Jin, and I think it was... Raindrops with... It was whoever was with...
Pluto.
That's right.
Pluto,
that's right. Like, and they still managed to lose that, and... I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know,
I
Chief.
don't even think that what went wrong was... because keep in mind, Noob and NATO were... They got into the site. They killed pretty much from a 2v3, 2v4 down to a 2v2. They killed Axe Hydra 2v1. All they had to do, they had plenty of time, keep in mind, to go background to trash, plant default trash, hold from freezer, hold through the holes inside of, hold through the bathroom rotate, and play for that contact. They knew where that Jaeger was. But instead, NATO decided to walk into the middle of the site, the middle of Longbar, sit on the floor, plant in the open with, his supporting player not holding a cross angle, and Noob is actually going to learn the hard way. So is Ponyan, though, as Jin finds 2 upstairs looking for a 3rd. Will he get it? Yes, he will.
No.
That's 3 players off of spawn. Jin's on a tirade right now, and UniMelb, what a series of mistakes.
He's going to jump out, isn't he?
No, he's not.
I almost expected him to do it, but...
He's a tame man.
Drew, at least we'll get some consolation here. He finds 1, but at this point, what are you meant to do here? Like, okay, you still got your hard breach, so there's a bit of consolation. No. Oh, okay. If he had got that, I would have been so upset.
I would have probably tried to UniMelb. I mean... 3 players in the first 30 seconds. I mean, Jin, 3 weeks ago we saw him hit a 1v5 on stream. I'm honestly not surprised at how good he is. he performs consistently week after week after week in the University League, and I'm really not surprised that we saw him pull off, 3 kills in that sort of stretch of 30 seconds there, leaving everything all up to Drew at the end of the day. 10 HP, 20 HP-ish is all that separates him from a round loss/win. He's got 3 players left to find. And while UniMelb were close in the previous round, questionable plant spots have cost them that statistic. So whether or not Drew can fix that up and find those 3 kills again is a big question. But it's not looking promising.
RMIT Black have just been playing very, very aggressively. They're going for the swings. They're going for them whenever they can. This isn't to say, of course, as we've mentioned, that they're being careless or they're taking unnecessary risks. They're playing very well off the information. For example, now they're not peeking at all. They know they just got to wait for that time to burn out. They've got the info from the Echo. They're just chilling, right? He doesn't even peek there. And so it's very well-placed aggression, and this is definitely what's winning them the rounds here.
And Pluto is gonna hit the bot, walk away. Did he hit foam, surely? Oh, he did. Oh, you love to see it. I mean, it's quite obvious that RMIT Black are feeling themselves after that 7-1. I mean, it might just be confidence coming into this match, but I mean, yes, it's Cafe defense first off the bat. Yes, they have been a solid team all throughout the stage, but we're talking about a team that is a 3-time Uni League Championship team. And I mean, they're not really looking to let up anytime soon. They are putting it down. I mean, 7-1 map number 1, their map pick respectively, yes, a 7-1. You know, you'd expect that. But going on to the second map, yes, the first round kind of shaky in both regards. But second round, I mean, dominance is the only way that you can put it. Jin with 3 off the bat. I mean, this is UniMelb's map pick. How are they letting that happen? I mean, you know, Cafe is renowned for its spawn peaks, and I think that is something that everyone will agree with. Why are they not checking for that? Why are they not more careful about that? You know, big mistake.
This just really is not going well. And mind you, they've already used their tactical pause as well. UniMelb don't have that option in the bag to slow down RMIT Black. So they're left just... Yeah, they're just going to have to go for it. And
that's cool.
If this plays out, it's going to be another quick match.
Well, if it plays out like it did in the first, I would definitely not be surprised. The spawn pick has been spotted here by Poignant, though. So Jin is either going to commit to the bit or he's going to have to forfeit it. They do actually have a drone on him as well, I'm pretty sure. I just saw under the chair there. So I'm pretty sure he's being called out, possibly on that. But he's going to spot Poignant and do a little bit of damage. Whether or not he has seen that drone, though, is a different question. Can we get a drone cam possibly here? If we can find it, it doesn't matter. Drew! He was the last alive in the last round, but first to die in this one. He's going to go down there. Jin, on these windows, is good for 4 kills throughout this match so far. That's an insane statistic. So.
The fact that he's still up here is honestly pretty astounding. He's continuing to be an absolute pain for UniMelb, and they still haven't caught him. Wang does find one at least, but Pluto in the background as well gets another for his trouble, and I'm pretty sure he's rotating up to help with his hold. So UniMelb are in a world of hurt right now.
It's just hyper aggression from RMIT. I mean, look at these. I mean, Jin, like what? How do you win that gunfight? Because there's just no way that you do. The drop to come out, the hip fire on the... It's just disrespectful at this point. The player on the skylight's not holding the drop. In fact, just opts to jump in. And Jin's going to find a third in the round. Back-to-back 3Ks. Leaving Noob, the last alive, in the round. Jin's still up. He's going to get another... What is going on? Jin is playing T-Hunt right now. He's just running circles. That's 2 hip-fire kills in the round. A spawn peak. UniMelb, come on. What's happening?
Cool. So I think at this point I can stop taking notes and I just write down everyone.
Just put Jin down on every round.
Yeah, Jin. Yeah, like... there's just nothing you can do, right?
It's bullying. This is schoolyard bullying. This man is on an absolute heater right now. I don't know if it's just Cafe, but he's feeling it tonight.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
UniMelb, they've played... Okay, they haven't played poorly in their previous rounds. They've done really well, and they've made it, of course, all the way through this lower bracket from a losing position all the way here to the lower bracket final, but suddenly they've run into this this wall known as RMIT Black, and no matter what they're throwing at them, it just doesn't seem to work. RMIT Black, on the other hand, seem to be going from strength to strength. As you mentioned, the mental is just so good, they're just comfortable to do whatever they want here, and UniMelb are struggling.
It is a big struggle. I mean, I don't know what is happening at the UniMelb camp right now, whether or not it is just distraught mentals after game 1, whether it's, you know, something in the background that we obviously aren't going to be able to see, given that we're in the booth there in the you know, the VC separately. But in saying that, Jin is just, you know, as confident as ever with everything that he seems to be doing tonight, and that is definitely paying dividends for him and his team at the moment, given that they are 3-0 up and he is 8-2. Make that, no, not 9. He's finally going to be silenced in the early stages of a round here. NATO, good kill to find.
I don't think necessarily, though, this means that RMIT Black are out for the count, because everyone has played really, really well. The only reason why we're seeing some zeros here is simply because Jin's killed everyone before they've gotten there. Sprando, however, will at least find 2, so that certainly starts to help things out a little bit more. If they can press this player advantage, they might be in with a chance. But as we know, RMIT Black just don't really care. They're just going to go for the swing, go for the kills. It's still not over yet.
Definitely not. I mean, with D2 going down, it's going to make things that little bit harder. I mean, we've got a Kavira pick from Pluto. You can tell the mental difference here between these two teams. It's quite stark what's going on in both camps respectively. But, you know, there is still a lot of time to play with here. I mean, half the round left for UniMelb to make something happen. I'd imagine this will probably be where they find maybe their first, provided that they can keep finding these frags. I mean, with Raindrops taking down Drew, that's going to be great, but Huang, he's going to walk on in and find one onto Pluto. So things now to get a little bit harder. A lovely shot from Axe Hydra onto Huang entering. It will be the down from Raindrops as well, and very quickly the 4v2 turned into a 2v2 by the site players.
Well, when in doubt, just click heads, and certainly RMIT Black have been doing that. As we mentioned, at the end of the day, utility be damned, you still have to win your gunfights, and RMIT Black have just been doing so well. We witnessed some nasty, nasty shots, but finally now, it's going to be a 2v2 with 30 seconds on the clock, and that means UniMelb are going to have to commit. They can't do things half-assed anymore. They have to go for this push. They need to play together, get those trades, because otherwise RMIT Black are just going to chew them up.
Had that nade been cooked, that would have been a kill too there for the player inside of the Cigar Lounge. But Axe is going to take a bit of damage. So the call's been given, but Raindrops has Diffuser. Player walking around, he's not going to check Freezer. Cleaned up by Raindrops. It is going to be a push down the white wall towards the site here. Axe Hydra, first point of contact, will take some damage, but deals some as well. Noob knows there's a player to his left and his right, but it doesn't matter. RMIT Black, surgical with their sight holds. You're not coming in, sending them back home. UniMelb cannot put a dent in this defense.
With some great positions being held by RMIT Black. Perfect cover. Of course, each able to cover each other. When we saw that Yana pushing up and trying to flush that cocktail player out, Freezer player perfectly positioned, got him right in the back. On the other hand, of course, that bar was covered by Axe Hydra, and so it would stop anyone from pushing that Freezer player as well. On the other hand, UniMelb, I said they needed to get those trades. They needed to play together, and it just seemed that they were two separate players. They pushed one by one, and that's what happens when you do that. RMIT Black are not going to lose those gunfights.
And as you said, you know, Jin being dead, it didn't make a difference. He from the grave, he was there supporting his team, and you know, Axe Hydra, Raindrops there finishing things off. It was good to see that someone other than Jin getting some kills for once. Don't get me wrong, it's always great to see one player frag out astronomically, but still, it's all good fun stuff, I think, tonight so far for RMIT Black. In the hands of UniMelb, maybe not so much, but I mean, we just look at the kills, you know, on the right side of the ball. We've got Jin on 8, Raindrops on 6, and Pluto on 4 respectively. Whereas we cast our eyes over to the left side, we've only got, you know, 3s, 2s, you know, a 0. And they're actually going to resort to bringing the Monty out. Jin just not giving up on these spawn peaks at all. He's going to try and play for a couple more, but unfortunately, he is not going to be graced with them just yet. He is actually getting droned out too, which he's choosing not to shoot, which is an interesting choice. Whether or not he's about to get free price swing, indeed he is. So whether or not he saw that drone or not, a big question. I'd imagine he probably didn't, but that's going to cost him.
Yeah, finally that aggression does go punished. Do like the use of that information from the drones to counter that. So well played from UniMelb, but of course, one pick doesn't the game make. There's still a lot of work they need to do. And this Firebolt returning backwards might actually come back to haunt the Monty. Goes for the melee, doesn't quite land it, and actually gets downed. Alright. Bit of a misplay there. Grenade comes out, doesn't quite catch Pluto, and of course he's got the diffuser. Oh, there's the second one. Noob Master finally lands that.
Bit of a shame there, unfortunately, for Pluto being caught out on the rotate, but it is going to be D2 to swing on round. He's good for 1. Another player walking on in. The Bakery is going to spot him out. The drop fire, unfortunately, not connecting. Raindrops off screen will find Pornian, though. So again, a 2v2. Definitely doable for both teams, respectively, but it is going to be Axe Hydra. A lovely angle here is going to catch Noob on the rotate out of prep. And now, Drew finds himself last alive again on the red stairs. Hasn't done too much in the round, but he's going to have to do something now if UniMelb want to find their first, because diffuser control is in the hands of RMIT Black, and it's not looking great at all for the sledge once again.
It wasn't even a matter of, control, right? It wasn't the fact that RMIT Black had vertical control or were denying that that bakery area. It was just that they won so many of those gunfights, and there were a couple of questionable pushes too. I'll give them that from UniMelb, which kind of gave RMIT Black a couple of freebies. So, this direct method just really does not work. He started off well with the drone work and getting that pick on the Jin, but they just weren't able to follow up.
They just almost threw it all away. I mean, sending the Monty in solo with no support, sending, 2 plays in after that, again, no support. They were just told to play off themselves. Axe Hydra to finish off the round on the Drew, didn't have too much impact, some damage dealt, but ultimately no frags, but they had the stats. So for him, that is going to be sort of the end of his round very quickly and very swiftly there. But I mean, yeah, it has just been, rough roads here for UniMelb. They just keep making crucial mistakes after getting such a big lead. I mean, we saw that round as well, just their utility usage. I mean, the first Capital bolt came through, got caught by the Wamai. As I looked at the screen, Monty turned around, looked at the Wamai discs, and I'm assuming gave the call. There are more Wamai. What happens? Capital just keeps shooting his second fire bolt in there. That's all the asphyxiation bolts gone in a second. The nades then come out. Yes, they do collect the kill, but what would you rather trade? The asphyxiation bolts or the nades for post-plant? Their utility priority is definitely something of question. Sending the Monty on through, etc., etc. It is definitely interesting, but Spud, maybe had they had a rig headset, they might have heard all of that happening, and they might have won that round. So maybe get yourself a rig headset, ladies and gentlemen. We love them, and they do great things for us here at the University League, and I'm sure they will for you as well. Had you purchased yourself some, so make sure you do go and have a checkout at the end of this.
5 seconds to go.
I went back and looked at the map bans, and I actually had written down that UniMelb picked Chalet and not Cafe, and now this makes a lot more sense, right? Because Chalet, although the scoreline was, of course, 7-1.
Oh, another one.
At least UniMelb was able to put up a fight. Here, they just don't have anything at all, and RMIT Black are just running rampant. Noobmaster, the thinker of all players. Guess you can't use Finker as a crutch.
No, don't. Don't tell me he's going to jump out. Surely not. He did. He's outside right now. He doesn't know the players to his right, and unfortunately flicks too far, and Pornion's there, but Jin's already done the damage. And, yeah, I mean, okay. NATO finds range on proning on wide stairs of all places, but I'm sure he's happy picking up that kill, but it is going to be the refrag there from D2. Going to let the Twitch call away for a small second. Pluto to add one as well. He will take down Pornion. I believe on the top floor, not too sure, we didn't get to see that one, but it looks like it was possibly towards top red somewhere, maybe jumping in the skyline, I'm not too sure. Huang's just sending it, and yeah, Pluto's there to collect it. Drew, again, finds himself in a 1vx, but given the previous rounds and how they've played out, there's a lot of time left, and he is going to find one for his troubles, but I don't think he's going to find too many more. Jin keeps typing R. I'm not too sure if he's asking for a rehost or if he's just... I'm not sure.
I think he wants to say he's ready for the game to continue.
He's ready to continue. Oh, no, man. BM. We love it. We love it here.
I mean, there's still half the round left, but Drew is all by himself. Having said that, there's not many players with RMIT Black alive either, and I think that just speaks to the kind of aggression that's being played here. That, I would argue, is the type of aggression we want. Just, yeah, not it. Considering 1v2 is still winnable, and you have a lot of time to work with.
Excuse me. Yeah, look, 1v3, I mean, he found one, so yeah, great for him, but at the end of the day, I don't think that's really any kind of consolidation, Spud, given that the score is currently 6-0, with no real prospect, I think, of UniMelb making a comeback, unless it is the greatest comeback that we have seen in this season of the University League. Prospect's not high. Let's just put it there. I'm not putting any money on UniMelb because I think at the moment, given how they have been playing on this second map, that would be a bad financial investment. So gonna push all the chips into RMIT Black just based on how they're playing, nothing to do with the 6-0 or anything. But it definitely looks like it is swaying in that favor pretty significantly.
Yeah, you can tell just by the way that RMIT Black are playing. They're relaxed, they're doing crazy things, they're running out, jumping out when they really shouldn't be. They know, they're confident in winning this, and UniMelb definitely know this. And that mental toll, that pressure must be immense for UniMelb, whereas RMIT Black are just chilling. They're having fun, they're running around, and I expect a very, very rapid capitulation here. RMIT Black, I think, will just send it up these white stairs or something silly like that. And the sad part is they will probably get away with it.
I mean, they've just been making such crucial mistakes throughout this entire matchup. I mean, that round, perfect example of something they've been doing pretty much the whole game is, Jin finds the opening kill, but they find 2 trades pretty much instantaneously and then proceed to just all, disappear. It was down to a 1v3 in a matter of seconds. I mean, as Nuttery highlighted in our ears, 2 whole minutes were left in the round at the point of 1v3 for Drew. So, interesting to say the least, but it is Pluto setting up for the Amaru rush into heaven, going to make his way in, and no one is in cocktail at all to greet him. He's quite confused by this. He isn't going to be taken down. Shotgun close to the door. He's going to win this fight and down the first. Looking for 2, but Bornian's there. Jin's in as well. He's found 1 for himself downstairs, and he's run back down red, so he's not going to commit to the rush, but I mean, again, RMIT Black Raindrops is up top white. He's going to fight 2!
What? Excuse me?
To go down 2 on white, but it doesn't matter. It's over. Raindrops with 3. What a way for RMIT to finish it. And a quick game is always a good game, Spud. 7-0. Jin dropping the close in chat.
Wow. Okay. Usually when you say that is a genuine, nice move. You're like, not bad, not bad. But that's just rubbing salt in the wound. They just ran into sight and they got away with it. I called it. It was going to be a white rush, and there we go. Raindrops just bolts right up the stairs and gets 3 people. And this was after, of course, the Maru went in, and they probably know at that point, okay, there's going to be a rush. So, bit awkward there, let's be honest.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting game. I mean, coming into it, off the first match, it was interesting to sort of rock up onto. I mean, 7-1 was like, yeah, okay, we're there. It's the fresh map, we're going into it. It's their pick, nothing happened. We were sitting here. I was like, yes, a good 3-map series, and yeah, no, Jin's got other things to do apparently. So does Raindrops and the rest of the team. So I can't believe that it was as quick and as brutal as it was. I mean, a 7-0 on Cafe. What great fashion to sort of just absolutely smash out that second map. I mean, it was flawless from the side of RMIT, Spud.
Yeah, the aggression, as we mentioned, it was on point. They knew where to place it. They knew where to go, and they just managed to hit all the pain points of UniMelb. UniMelb, we only got to see 1 defense, honestly, and even that there wasn't much to it because, RMIT just walked into sight. But again, on the part of RMIT Black on their defense, a lot of aggression. And as you mentioned, UniMelb not able to capitalize on some of these early advantages they had. They got, as we mentioned, they took out Jin. Sorry, Jin took out a player, but they managed to get 2 back. And then it sort of all fizzled apart. And there wasn't any momentum. They weren't really sure where they're going. And honestly, I would have expected more, especially at this stage of the tournament. This is the lower bracket final. You are fighting for that place in the grand finals. You can't be making, basic mistakes like that. Having said that, of course, it's not like they had a bad run. They made it all the way through the lower bracket to lower bracket final. So, props to them. Well done. But I think it might just be RMIT Black is just really, really good.
I mean, yeah, look, UniMelb had a really good run. They, as you said, they've come all the way from the lower bracket. They made it to that final side, but there was just too many mistakes from them. I mean, so many standard things we see from teams, in the University League. Their drone work, they had everything set up, but they weren't executing on information. You know, we saw a couple of times they had pre-placed drones, they found it, but even then, there were multiple times we saw drones on players like Jin doing those spawn peaks or someone else, and they would still lose the fight. They would still lose the skill. It does speak levels to RMIT's mechanical skill, but at the end of the day, that is why they are going to the grand finals, and UniMelb is not. But, Spud, we have come to the end of the evening, and as always, we would like to thank our sponsors, none other than Predator. Conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. Predator are the gaming PC partner of the AEL. Conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming. Predator puts power and precision in your hands. Elevate your gaming experience in every way with quality and performance thanks to Predator.
Of course, we have AOC, the best viewing experience. The AOC monitors have launched the first ever monitor crafted for League of Legends. League of Legends is represented in every aspect, from the iconic hex tech design and logo to a specific game setting mode. In-game visuals achieve their fullest potential from the combination of AOC monitors' expertise with the creators of League of Legends, Riot Games. So make sure to check out the AGON Pro AG275QXL today at au.aoc.com.
We would also like to thank Rig, what it takes to win. Rig develops headsets delivering superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. Join the Rig team and enhance your gaming experience today. Spud, it's been amazing. And if you want to find anything else about maybe what other things are going on within the University League, the AEL has multiple social platforms. If you want to find out more about AEL or any upcoming events and live streams, go check out AU Esports Leagues on pretty much all socials you can think of: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok even, if that tickles your fancy, as well as you can find us on both of our Twitch channels, AEL Uni and AEL Uni 2. And speaking of Twitch, Spud, we will be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. for the grand final. So don't miss that. We'll wrap up the entire season tomorrow, 6 p.m. Be there. Other than that, Spud, final thoughts for the evening.
Look, it's going to be an amazing game tomorrow. If today showed how well RMIT Black plays, then I just can't imagine what we're going to see tomorrow, because Swinister, of course, did beat RMIT Black in the upper bracket finals. It was a 2-1. So if RMIT Black can play like this, what can Swinister do? That's going to be a real story to tell. And finally, we have some different teams in the finals. We do see RMIT Black once again, but Swinister this time, they have finally made it through past Monash. And yeah, maybe finally we will crown some new champions. So yeah, with that, anything else? Any final thoughts?
All prospects for tomorrow, I think, Spud. It's going to be an absolute heater. Don't miss it. 6 p.m. tomorrow for the grand final, Swinster versus RMIT Black. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure. We will see you tomorrow night. Other than that, have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your evening. My name's Proto. See you later.
Driving